You're watching Bengals Breakdown. On today's show, another round of training camp winners and losers. The Bengals are off today. Joint practice gets going tomorrow. The perfect time to check in on some more standouts and maybe some fallers from training camp. A different set of names as much as possible so we can talk about different players here on the show. Now, the last time we did this video, 78 subs. Thank you all so much who have subscribed. Can we beat that number this time around, getting us closer to 4,000 subscribers here? If you want more free Bengals videos, including some preseason watch parties, hit that sub button right now. Our first training camp winner is right tackle Jonah Williams. I know what the Bengals are saying about it's still a battle. It's still a battle. I'm not convinced you're going to see Jonah Williams even play in the preseason, at least week 1, because he is that heavy of a favorite at the position. He has seemingly hit the ground running, not nearly the level of adjustment you might normally see for an offensive tackle. Don't just believe me. Here's what Frank Pollock, the team's offensive line coach, had to say about Jonah's transition. It's really been a lot more seamless and smooth than I would anticipate for any guy. It just shows the quality player that Jonah is. He looks like he's been there a few years. I'm impressed. I mean, hats off to him. It shows that he took the challenge and he worked on it every chance he could while rehabbing his knee. The Bengals do not have La'el Collins out there right now. Jackson Carman has been the other main option on the right side at tackle. He's been up and down, not the same caliber of player that Jonah Williams has been so far. Cody Ford is out there. I'm unconvinced he's going to end up making this Bengals roster. Other options, Hakeem Adeniji got some left side work. Dante Smith. Adeniji can play guard too. It's pretty clearly to me Jonah Williams is in there at right tackle. And if he plays well, that is a big deal for the Bengals offensive line. So what is your confidence level here in Jonah Williams? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1, the low end, 10, the high end. Andrei Iosivas is next up here, a.k.a. Yoshi as I call him. I thought a bit of a slower start to camp, a little bit more up and down, has very much shown the flashes we saw at minicamp and OTAs, etc. in this second week of Bengals training camp. Pads have gone on. He has not looked like he's lost any slight step at all in his speed. He's been impressive. And again, don't just believe me. Here's what Nick Scott said, the Bengals safety. Andre's been showing up a lot lately. He's a long receiver. He's got some gas, and for the most part, he has some pretty strong hands. Now, Iosivas is not going to steal T. Higgins' job anytime soon, and he's probably still behind Trenton Irwin on the outside as the backup, with Charlie Jones, now healthy, by the way, as the backup behind Tyler Boyd. But I do think he is in a fantastic spot to be the 6th receiver on this team, even if that means a limited impact this upcoming season. So do you think that Yoshi makes the Bengals roster? Y for yes, N for no. It's going to be today's pinned comment. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. We have spent a lot of time on corners. We've given the flowers to Cam Taylor-Britt, to DJ Turner. I also want to give some love to DJ Ivey. In a pretty promising cornerback room where it's Cam Taylor-Britt, it's Chidobe Awuzie, it's Mike Hilton as your starters. That 4th corner battle features DJ Taylor, Sidney Jones, and even some DJ Ivey. And given his length and the size he offers, I wonder if Ivey could play that Trey Flowers role, if needed, where he gets some reps against tight ends, although maybe Daxton Hill ends up filling that role to a certain extent. I like what I've seen from DJ Ivey, not to mention Alan George and even Marvell Tell and Jalen Davis. This cornerback room for Cincinnati is pretty darn solid. The depth is much better for the Bengals than what we've seen in years past. So I do want to give some love to the 7th round pick. Back to offense here. How about Tanner Hudson, the tight end? Look, Irv Smith is going to be the starter. I have no doubts about that. He's looked pretty good, but I wish he was getting passes from Joe Burrow than the backup quarterbacks Browning and Simeon. But Hudson offers some nice balance in terms of being able to block and catch if he has to. Irv Smith's tight end 1. I would not be overly shocked if Hudson continues to push Drew Sample for the tight end 2 spot. And I think Devonnsha Maxwell's been anonymous is maybe the good way to go about it there. He's had some drop issues too. But Hudson might end up being tight end 3. Bonus points that he's able to contribute as a as a long snapper. God forbid something happens to Cal Adamatis for the Bengals. Now, if you want to bet on football, college football coming around the corner, you can bet on the preseason games as well. Do with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Bet the under in preseason games. Tends to hit. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125 as my ring falls off. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. 125% deposit bonus when you put down $100. So they're giving you free money. So why not put $5 or $10 on the Bengals to win the Super Bowl? If it hits, congrats. You're having even more money to spend or withdraw or whatever. If it doesn't, was the free house money. You're in great shape. It's chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. A lot more offense. We were pretty mean to the offense last time. They had all the losers, so we'll give them some more praise this time around. How about Chris Evans? The reason why he's on this list, drew praise for his special teams impact on Monday. And that special teams impact is women. Not for returns, which I don't think he'll have that job this year, but on coverages. And that matters because that last running back spot, RB4 or even RB3, that dude is going to have to contribute on special teams. If Evans can do that, maybe you feel more comfortable not going with, say, Stanley Morgan as another receiver, and instead you go with the Chris Evans. Now, with Travion Williams a bit banged up this past week, no surprise here, although Williams is now healthy, thank goodness, that Chase Brown, excuse me, as I almost did that in the graphics too. I merged the two players. Chase Brown, who I am very excited to see in the Bengals' upcoming preseason game. He has again drawn praise and is in a fight for a bigger role this year. Williams, I'm not convinced is not going to be RB2, but if it's going to be anyone other than Williams, I think it would be Chase Brown, who's had some praise for his pass protection early on. That is certainly worth monitoring in the preseason game. If you can't pass protect, the Bengals don't want you as RB2. They think Williams can handle that. So who ends up winning that job? B for Chase Brown, E for Chris Evans, or W for your likely favorite, Travion Williams? Drop that letter for me in the comment section. It's B for Brown, E for Evans, W for Williams. Defense again here, Cam Sample. We'll get to some losers on defense, by the way, so stay tuned for that. But Sample is kind of, I always look for the steady drum beats of reports of looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good, looks good. That's kind of been Cam Sample. Steady praise, not like off the charts, oh my God, he's a superstar, but hey, this guy's looked good. He'll probably make this Bengals team. I think he's a safe bet to make the Bengals roster with a pretty good group up front among the defensive ends. So we got one more winner to get to, but first, who do you think is the biggest Bengals training camp winner so far? Any player on the list or not on the list, who has impressed you the most at this stage? Get those votes in for me in the comment section. Brad Robbins is next up here. A, had some very good punts on Monday. Looked like a clearly better option than what the Bengals have done, as I hit my hand on the table like an idiot all over the place today. Sorry about that loud noise, folks. Brad Robbins looked pretty good, and with Drew Chrisman still not fully healthy yet, he's the only healthy punter on the Bengals roster. So as long as Robbins doesn't blow it as a draft pick, by the way, sounds like he's going to be in good shape for Cincinnati as the team's starting punter. Time now for the losers. Jordan Battle, the safety. Nothing to be too concerned about here. It's just not about like he's not playing well, but Battle hasn't missed time, or has missed some time. Had a nice interception in 1v1s covering, I believe it was Devonnsha Maxwell. But we have to remember this part too. The Bengals did run one 3-safety look at practice yesterday on Monday. That doesn't mean they're going to run it a lot. They didn't run it last year when they had Daxton Hill. And although I like Jordan Battle a lot, he is not better than Dax Hill is. So I don't think they're suddenly going to add a bunch of, 3-safety looks to get Jordan Battle on the field when they weren't doing that last year to get Daxton Hill out there. So I like Jordan Battle. I'm excited about him long term. I don't think he's going to play a massive role this year because it's clearly Hill and Nick Scott as the starters. Who is the biggest Bengals training camp loser then so far? Sound off in the comments section, chatsports.com/bet. Promo code CHAT125. I don't know why I did that there. Bengals' biggest training camp loser so far. I mentioned the bottom of the screen. I'm all over the place today. Sorry. All right, defensive end, Myles Murphy. I went full Ron Burgundy, and you go F yourself, San Diego. Myles Murphy, the next up here on the losers side. And again, it's not that Myles Murphy is bad, although I think DJ Turner's been your best rookie so far in camp. It's that he's stuck behind others on the depth chart. He is not going to be, I don't think, a top 3 player at defensive end. Now, they can still rotate that NASCAR package in there and get him on the field, but obviously Trey Hendrickson's going to play a huge role. Sam Hubbard still will. And Joseph Asai, a winner last time around, is your number 3 defensive end. Murphy is then 4th. That's a good problem to have in terms of the depth, but it puts him in a tough spot to make an immediate impact in year 1. One more loser, beyond me for making like 3 weird different things in today's video. My apologies. Devonnsha Maxwell is out for the year, was placed on injured reserve with a knee injury. So unfortunate note on Maxwell there. Maybe he'll be back next season. We'll see if he gets waived from injured reserve, but his season is already over. Once you're placed on IR during training camp, you can't come back. So Maxwell is unfortunately the final loser on that list.